Okay, here's NIO. This finishes at $32.42 today. That is up 14.76%. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is AMC. This finishes at $28.94 today. That is up 3.54%. So haven't talked about AMC in a while here. It's been bleeding the past couple of weeks and months. And today we did get a lot of price action. At one point it did hit about $30. So this was up much higher earlier in the day. I think it was up like 7% at one point. So it has since pulled back a good amount, but still up 3.5% today. A really good day for AMC. And this was by far number one on StockTwits today. So yeah, no specific news to justify this price action today. Really don't know why this went up so much. Growth stocks in general did do pretty well today. So I guess this was part of the growth trade today. Apes decided to buy it up today. But yeah, let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we do have a gap up at 1650. So that would be a bearish indicator. That is telling us the stock may come back down to 1650 eventually to fill this gap. And right now that looks pretty unlikely, but this has been selling off pretty hard. So still unlikely, but it looks more possible the more this sells off. So keep that in mind, guys. Gap up 1650, bearish indicator. This is selling off in the aftermarket here, down to 2870 at the time of recording. So that would be another bearish indicator that is telling us this stock is likely to sell off tomorrow as well. Now here we have an inverse head and shoulders. So that would be a bullish indicator. That is telling us this stock may break out to the upside pretty soon here. And this does appear to be a bull flag in the making here. So that would be another bullish indicator because that is telling us this stock is likely to break out to the upside if this is in fact a bull flag. And also a possible cup and handle here. Looks like the top of the cup could be 37.60 or about 42. So another bullish indicator there that is telling us the stock may run back to the upside to complete the cup there. Okay, and if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is sitting on the support of 28.95, which it finished at today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 30.90, 31.95, 33.65, 34.80, 36.05, 37.60, 39, 40.20, and then 41.95. And there is resistance above 41.95, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 26.75, 25.35, 24.35, 22.45, 20.35, 17.30, 16.50, and then 14.10. And there is support below 14.10, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 28.95, the channels to the upside are pretty decently sized, so expect a good amount of price action if this runs to the upside. However, to the downside, the channels are pretty wide up until 14.10. So if this continues to run to the downside, expect a significant increase in price action up until 14.10. RSI is currently at 45, so a little bit below average, but according to the RSI, this current price of $28.95 is around fair market value, and this did 36 million in volume today, pretty below average. So this pump today is not confirmed by the volume. So just my opinion, not financial advice. This does look more bullish than bearish at the moment. There are more bullish indicators than bearish indicators. So I do believe in the short term, at least, this will run to the upside. I'm just really concerned about this gap up at 1650. Hopefully that never fills, but it is a real possibility. But yeah, we're getting bullish indicators in the possible cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders, bull flag, and of course the strong social media sentiment. We're getting bearish indicators in the gap up and aftermarket action here, and a neutral indicator in the RSI. So overall, this does look slightly bullish, more bullish than bearish, definitely. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice. It's not necessarily the greatest buy in the world right now, but it is a pretty decent play, in my opinion. Like I said, this looks like it wants to break out pretty soon because of the inverse head and shoulders and the bull flag. And if this is in fact a cup and handle, this could go back up to 42 to complete that cup. So I would say going long here would be a medium risk, high reward play. A lot of upside potential, but if this goes to the downside, that can go really bad very quickly. Although technically, this does look like a pretty good buy right now. If this goes the other way, it could go really bad. Just be careful, guys. Like I said, medium risk, high reward play. So personally, I probably wouldn't do it, but really couldn't blame you guys if you do want to do that. And if you guys want to be super conservative, I would say set your buy orders to 1650, where the gap is. And if it does go back down there, that'd be an excellent entry. And if it doesn't, then that's okay. But yeah, I would support going long at this current price, $28.95 and lower. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice. Personally, I wouldn't do that, and I would not recommend that because this is the meme stock. Apes are all over it. And like I said, in the short term at least, this does look more bullish than bearish. This does have the potential to go back down to 1650, but it's just way too risky for my liking. I would say going short here is a high risk, high reward play. If it does go back down to 1650, that'd be around a 40% downside. A lot of tendencies to be made to the downside if it does go there. But yeah, I just think it's way too risky. This has a lot of upside potential as well, and you very well could get squeezed out here. I just don't think the risk is worth the reward. So personally, I wouldn't do that, but it could pay off pretty big if it does go to the downside. And like I said, channels are really wide to the downside, so this could go down pretty quickly. So it's pretty much a gamble going short here. It could pay off pretty big, but not the best idea. So if you guys want to gamble, then sure, go for it. Please do that at your own risk. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC. Okay, here's NIO. This finishes at $32.42 today. That is up 14.76%. So we haven't talked about this stock in a while, but this was pretty high up there on StockTwits today, trending. So we'll discuss it. Really no news to justify this price action today, but in general, a lot of growth stocks and Chinese stocks did go pretty high today. So I'm going to assume this was part of the Chinese trade today. Yeah, let's go ahead and analyze here. So we do have multiple gap downs, one all the way back at 59, and then we have one smaller gap down back at 32.9. Those are both bullish indicators. That is telling us this stock should eventually come back up to 32.9 and 59. Now, the 59 gap down may take a while, but eventually it should come back up there. The 32.9 gap down should fill pretty quickly in the short term, I would say. This also looks like a possible cup and handle in the making here. It looks like the top of the cup could be 35 or 41. So another bullish indicator that is telling us this stock may run back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And if we're going back 3 years here, there is a gap up at around $9. So that's a bearish indicator that is telling us this stock may come back down to $9 eventually to fill that gap. And at this point, it looks pretty unlikely, but very noteworthy. Pay attention to that, guys. Gap up $9, bearish indicator. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 32.90 and 32.10. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 32.90, 33.55, 34, 34.90, 35.95, 37.05, 38.05, 39.05, 40, 41.05, 42.30, 43.05, and then 44.05. And there is resistance above 44.05, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 32.10, 33.65, 29.95, 29.40, 28.25, 27.30, 26.55, 25.35, 22.35, and then 21.05. And there is support below 21.05, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 32.42, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a good amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 25.35 to the downside, the channel starts to open up and get really wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 25.35. RSI is currently at 48, so that is pretty average. So according to the RSI, this current price of 32.42 is around fair market value, and this did 137 million in volume today, which is above the average, so this pump today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, so just my opinion, not financial advice. I do really like this stock. This for sure is a good long-term play. This is one of the better EV companies after Tesla, and there are a lot of bullish indicators right now. Again, double gap down, possible cup and handle. The only bearish indicator is the gap up at 9, and we have a neutral indicator in the RSI. So honestly, 32.40 isn't exactly the best entry here, but it is a pretty decent one. So I could support going long at 32.40 and lower. Again, definitely a good long-term play. Now in the short term, I'm not so sure. Again, I really like the stock, but this has really nothing to do with the chart or the TA here. There is still a lot of China FUD. The Chinese stocks did really well today, but I'm still not convinced that the China FUD is over. I would just hold off right now on this stock and all Chinese stocks until we get confirmation that the China FUD is over. And like I said, if this does pull back to the downside, which it very well could, the channels are really wide, so this could get some pretty significant downside pressure here. And hopefully it doesn't happen, but this could pull back to $9 to fill the gap. If you're willing to hold this for the long term, then I would say sure, go ahead, buy it at 32.40. And if it pulls back, then you could just average down. But personally, I'd just hold off on this and wait until we get the all clear on the China FUD. You might be able to get a way better price, but really couldn't blame you guys if you do want to buy in here at the current price. Again, definitely a good long-term hold. Short-term, I'm not so sure. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, personally, I wouldn't do that just because I do like this company a lot. But the chart doesn't lie, and again, a lot of China FUD. So going short here could pay off pretty big if this does, in fact, run to the downside. So I would say going short here would be a medium risk, high reward play. It definitely shouldn't squeeze. It shouldn't go mooning to the upside. And if it does run to the downside, like I said, it can go bad pretty quickly. Couldn't blame you guys if you want to go short. A good amount of downside potential here. You know, if it does go to the downside, this can easily blow through all these supports, and it may even come back down to $9. That'd be over a 75% downside, like 80% downside if this does go back to 9. Could pay off pretty big, but pretty risky because this is a good long-term stock, and the apes really like it. Institutions like it. So if you want to go short, please do that at your own risk. So yeah, you know, pretty hard to tell where this is going to go in the short term. Long term, it'll definitely go up. Short term, very volatile. Nobody really knows where this is going to go. Really all depends on when China decides to let it go up. So congratulations to everyone who won money on the stock today. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is NIO. So here is OCGN Ocugen. This finishes at $4.83 today. That is up 10.27%. So this one has been pretty popular lately on StockTwits. Been trending top 10 for a couple of days now. And once again, it was pretty high up there. So we'll discuss it again today. So we did have some news on this stock, so let's check it out. So Ocugen partner, Bharat Biotech, announces positive immunogenicity and safety data from Covaxin C19 candidate vaccine in children 2 to 18 years old. Basically, really good PR about Covaxin. So that probably was the big reason as to why this stock went up so much today. Yeah, so great PR. Stock goes up 10.27% today. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we do have a gap down at around 12.30. So that would be a bullish indicator. That is telling us this stock should come back up to 12.30 eventually to fill that gap. This did look like a cup and handle in the making, but the past 2 days, this broke support, so it looks like the cup is getting rejected there. That's not good. And we do have a gap up at 185. So that would be a bearish indicator that is telling us this stock may come back down to 185 eventually to fill that gap. At this point, it looks pretty unlikely, but it is Ocugen. It is a meme stock, so you never know. Very possible it does come back down to 185. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this stock is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of $5, and $4.75. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be $5, $5.30, $5.70, $6.05, $6.35, $6.65, $7, $7.40, $7.75, $8.30, $8.60, $8.90, $9.30, $9.65, $9.90, and then $10.25. And there is resistance above $10.25, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be $4.75, $4.10, $3.75, $3.35, $3.05, $2.55, $2.05, and then $1.55. So right now at this current price, $4.83, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized. So expect a good amount of price action, either way this goes. RSI is currently at 39, so a little bit below average there. And this did 24 million in volume today, which is below average, so this pump today was not confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, so just my opinion, not financial advice, and I may be a bit biased here. I really don't like this stock fundamentally. The whole point of this stock is to bring Covaxin into North America, and I just never see that happening. North America is pretty good on their current vaccines, and I really don't see the FDA ever approving Covaxin. Not saying the stock won't go back up eventually, it should, but this stock doesn't trade according to fundamentals. This tends to be a momentum stock. It pumps on PR, buying the rumor, and then dumps on selling the news. It happened 3 times already, probably going to happen again. I definitely think this is a good stock to swing trade, not really one to long-term hold. I would not get too emotional about this stock here. We are getting mixed signals. We have a gap up and a gap down, and then the RSI is slightly bullish. So pretty hard to tell where this is going to go in the short term, but based on the chart, it does look slightly bullish. I will say though, this did pop on PR today, and usually when it pops on PR, it goes right back down. So I do think it's going to pull back a little bit in the short term, but very soon it does appear like it will start to bottom out and reverse, although it did look like that a couple of times, and it just keeps on going lower, so really can't say for sure. But yeah, if you want to go long, not financial advice, the current price of 483 is really not bad at all, so certainly couldn't blame you if you do want to go long here, but I do think this does have more downside potential. Don't know how far it's going to go to the downside, but I would say it probably will go back down to 4. So personally, I just hold off until 4 at least. And if it pulls back below 4, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But yeah, 483 is really not that bad at all. So I could support going long at 483 and lower. And like I said, this probably will go back up eventually, pretty quickly. But it's a pump and dump. So next time it pumps, be sure to hit the sell button. Someone's going to end up holding the bag. Make sure it's not you. I'd say hit the sell button at 12:30 when this fills the gap. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I wouldn't recommend that. It's already sold off so much from the last time it pumped at 1750. There's really no point in going short here, although there is a lot more downside potential. I just think it's not really the best idea. Too risky for my liking. I would hold off going short until the next time this does pump again, because it will eventually. Just a matter of when. I don't like the current price of 483 on the short side. Wait until this pumps again, back up to 1230 and higher. Then I would come in and short. I think 1230 is an excellent entry on the short side. It should even go higher than that, but I would support going short at 1230 and higher. So congratulations to everyone who made money on the stock today. Hopefully this is the bottom, but you never know with the stock. It should pump again eventually, and be sure to hit the sell button when it does, guys. And good luck to everyone currently in this stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is OCGN Ocugen. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.